Lions fans, hold on tight. When Dan Campbell speaks, we listen. The coach has never been one to mince words, always speaking his mind without any filter. But when he opens his mouth to talk about Jameson Williams, things take a whole new level. Campbell made it clear that he expects a giant leap from the wide receiver in 2025, and not just any leap. It's the kind of evolution that could transform Williams from an explosive prospect into a solid NFL star. And look, if the coach is this hyped, you can bet big things are coming. Now, as if that weren't enough to warm the hearts of the fans, the backroom is also abuzz. Strong rumors are emerging that the Lions and Patriots may negotiate a trade involving Anthony Jennings, an edge who could be a perfect fit to bolster Detroit's defensive rotation. In other words, we have a new addition to the offense, a possible reinforcement on defense, and a climate of sky-high expectations for the season. So I'm going to ask you one thing. Leave a like right now, because this video will unpack not only Campbell's comments about Jameson Williams, but also this potential trade with New England, which could significantly impact the roster. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and activate the bell, because here we'll follow every Lions move, every rumor, and every detail of this journey toward the Super Bowl we've all dreamed of. Now let's dive right into this news, because there's a lot to talk about. Dan Campbell has never been a coach to choose his words carefully. He speaks his mind, and that's exactly what makes him so authentic and beloved in Detroit. But when it comes to Jameson Williams, the Lions' explosive wide receiver, the coach seems to ratchet up the hype even more. In an interview with the Green Light with Chris Long podcast, Campbell made it clear he expects a giant leap from Williams in 2025. And we're not talking about just any leap. The receiver already had a 1,000-yard season with virtually no effort. But according to the coach, the next step could be even bigger. Campbell emphasized that the turning point came at the end of 2023, especially in the postseason against the 49ers. There, Williams showed he was maturing, truly dedicating himself to the game, and transforming himself not only into an offensive weapon, but also into an admired teammate. For Campbell, few players have evolved as much in such a short time as the young wide receiver, who now appears fully committed to the franchise. And the coach's confidence is no coincidence. Williams is about to enter a decisive phase of his career, with a contract extension on the horizon. He's expected to fetch something close to 3 years and $75 million, a figure that's in line with the market, considering that receivers like Terry McLaurin of the Washington Commanders just signed a 3-year, $96 million deal. This shows just how valuable Williams' talent can be. On the field, the 24-year-old has already proven he can change the course of a game with his incredible speed and ability to burn defenses, but off the field, he's also matured significantly. Since his 2023 and 2024 suspensions, the youngster has managed to stay out of trouble, focused on the team, and determined to be a cornerstone of the franchise. This new version of Jameson Williams is exactly what Campbell and the coaching staff hope to see. Discipline, dedication, and a love for the game. For the Lions, who entered 2025 with the mission of repeating their NFC North title, silencing their critics, and finally reaching a Super Bowl, Williams isn't just an important player. He's a crucial piece of the puzzle. Alongside Amon-Ra St. Brown and with Jared Goff leading the charge, the wide receiver has the chance to transform Detroit's offensive system into one of the most lethal in the league. Joint workouts against the Dolphins and Texans have already shown a glimpse of what's to come. A dominant, confident receiver eager to prove he can be one of the best in the NFL. Campbell has made it clear he believes this, and fans are also beginning to sense that the hype may be real. In a league where star players are shaped by both talent and mentality, Jameson Williams seems to be finding the perfect balance. If this proves true, the young wide receiver could not only justify all the hype, but also be the X factor that finally leads Detroit to the title they've longed for. The Detroit Lions may be eyeing a reinforcement that appears to be a direct opportunity from New England. According to ESPN's Bill Barnwell, the Patriots have a name that is expected to be cut in the coming days, and this player could be exactly the kind of piece the Lions are looking for to alleviate one of the biggest concerns on the roster: depth at the edge position. With the departure of Zadarius Smith and the injuries of Josh Paschal and Ahmed Hassanein, who are already out for the start of the season, Dan Campbell's team finds itself even more reliant on Aiden Hutchinson and Marcus Davenport, the latter with a worrying injury history. This is precisely why Barnwell's proposal is gaining traction, a trade involving Anthony Jennings, a player who doesn't appear to be in new coach Mike Vrabel's plans in New England, but who could fit very well into Detroit's defensive system. The proposed trade is simple. The Patriots would receive a 6th-round pick in 2026, while the Lions would take Jennings and a 7th-round pick from the same draft. For many, this is reminiscent of the famous Kyle Van Noy trade, when the Patriots had the upper hand on the Lions. Now the scenario seems to be the opposite, with Detroit potentially emerging stronger by taking a chance on a player who, while not a star in New England, has shown consistency as a run defender and even some production as a secondary pass rusher. Jennings, a former 3rd-round pick by Bill Belichick, is coming off a solid season, racking up 9 quarterback knockdowns in over 830 defensive snaps. He's not the kind of edge rusher who will fill the sack charts, but the reality is that Detroit doesn't need another star. It needs someone reliable for the rotation and to hold down the edge against the run game. Jennings' contract isn't a deal-breaker either. In 2025, he'll receive approximately $2.5 million, with half of that already guaranteed, which fits well within the Lions' salary cap. More than that, his expertise against the run could be crucial for a defense that already struggled at critical moments last season. The proof of this is his consistent grade from Pro Football Focus for a run defense, always above 71, including a solid 73.0 in 2024. For comparison, Jennings recorded 2.5 sacks last year in 16 games, a number that would already place him among the Lions' best edge rushers in terms of pressure production. This shows that, while not his strong point, he can still contribute in the pass rush when needed. Within this context, the Barnwell idea makes a lot of sense for Detroit. It's a cheap, low-risk trade that offers the chance to bolster a position that is currently one of the team's biggest question marks. While Josh Paschal is expected to miss at least the first month of the season, and Davenport still raises questions about his durability, Jennings would be the type of player who can step in without compromising the rotation. In short, it's not about bringing in a star, but rather addressing a clear vulnerability before the regular season further exposes that weakness. For a franchise dreaming big in 2025, small moves like this can make all the difference in building a competitive and deep roster. So, Lions fans, what do you think of this potential trade? Could Anthony Jennings really be the missing piece to add more consistency to the team's edge rushing rotation? Or do you believe Detroit should target another, more impactful player, even if he costs a bit more on the market? In my opinion, this would be a smart move by the front office. It's a low-cost gamble that doesn't jeopardize the franchise's future in terms of draft picks, and also addresses an immediate gap on the defense. Jennings isn't here to be a star, but rather to be that solid, reliable player who does the dirty work that often goes unnoticed in the stats, but is essential to any winning defense. Now, I want to hear from you. Leave your opinion in the comments, and let's discuss this potential trade between the Lions and Patriots. And of course, if you enjoyed this content, please like the video, as it really helps the channel grow. And subscribe so you don't miss any updates about the Lions in this promising season.